Jim Norton is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of SiriusXM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now, 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
Hello. It's Jim Norton on the Jim Norton Show. How are you? Thank you for tuning in to this week's edition. I have had a very busy week. Again, I've been talking a lot about finances, but that's how it is, you know. And when you're going through, I'm not moving right now, but you know, I had all these complications, and it's really weird. I very rarely have financial instability. And it's not that I make so much money. It's just that I paid my mortgage off, you know, because, again, I don't ever trust show business or comedy or whatever business you want to say I'm in. So I'm going to move in the city, but there's a whole big problem with the fucking loan, you know. So it's like all this financial stuff has got me panicking. And it's really weird. I feel like when you're doing this kind of stuff, you feel like, or I feel like a child doing big person stuff. Like, I'm 47, and yet when I'm like dealing with a bank, the guy could be 35, and I feel like a 9-year-old talking to my uncle who caught me looking at his dirty magazines. So, it's this stupid feeling, this inability I think I have to do big person stuff, even though I've been doing it for, 25 years. I'm an ass. Hi, Bryce in Dallas. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jim, I'm a big fan.
Thank you, man.
Hey, my favorite comedians are you and Louie, and
thank you.
I loved Lucky Louie.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, it was a great show. I was wondering, like, why do you think that show? I don't want to say failed, but why do you think it was ended early as opposed to his new show on FX that's like kind of gone on and had more of a life?
Well, that's a great question, and I know definitely the answer. Jim Norton is involved. When Jim Norton is involved, I was supposed to be on a Russian jet recently. No, I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was the critics. The difference is, like Lucky Louie, we had the 1-season run on HBO, and we shot all the episodes before any audience had ever seen any, so none of them knew who we were.
Yeah.
So once it started airing, the critics killed it, but the audience grew. I remember Louis, because Louis knows all this inside TV shit, and he said normally you peak at like the first or second episode and then you trail off. But he said our audience is getting bigger every week, which is very rare. It was doing extremely well, but the critics hated it. HBO didn't really care how many people were watching it because they're not ratings based. They're subscription based, and I think they felt that critical acclaim was more important than the amount of people watching. I can't tell you how many people, and that's not to say, by the way, that his new show doesn't do very well, but I just mean HBO had a broader audience, I believe, at that time. And we were right on after Sex and the City or something, or The Wire, whatever we were on, or The Sopranos. But the critics killed that show. Louis, on the other hand, is critically acclaimed, so FX is very happy. And plus, Louis does that show very inexpensively, so it's cost effective, and it's a great show. So, it was more the critic. I think that both shows should have worked, and it's unfortunate that Lucky Louie did not. But as far as Louis C.K. is concerned, for him, it really worked out better this way because, this show, the critics really shined a positive light on him, and he went through the roof. So, I know he was originally heartbroken about Lucky Louie, but this, his show now is such a fucking smash critically, and everyone knows who he is, even though it doesn't get the same amount of viewers. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, totally. I was always wondering what you thought about that, because I fucking love that show. It made me laugh so hard. I was so surprised it kind of has a cult following now, but man, I really loved it.
I did too. Thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it.
I got my first Sabbath show coming up next year, so I'm pretty excited.
Enjoy it. Yeah, I'm going to. I'm going twice. All right, buddy. Be good. Patrick in San Diego. Oh, no, your fiance dumper stinks. What's up, man? Hey, man.
Hello?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know how to tell her.
Well, how long have you been with her?
3 years.
And do you have sex doggy style a lot?
She likes to. I opt not to.
So, what are you guys normally doing right before sex?
It varies. I mean, sometimes it's at noon, sometimes it's night, sometimes we're drunk, sometimes we're not.
So why don't you hop in the shower with her right before and play in the shower, and then don't say your asshole stinks, but soap each other up a little bit and make sure you get in there and clean it out good.
Right. My concern is for the rest of my life I'm going to have to deal with this. So should I tell her, and what effect will that probably have?
Well, you might want to try the method that I am saying first. Like make it a habit to shower right before sex, if you can. That's an awkward conversation, but
it's going to be awful.
Yeah, because she'll feel very embarrassed, and she'll probably be apologetic and go, "Oh my God, why didn't you tell me? I'm so embarrassed." That's a really
some girl I was fucking. I wouldn't care.
Oh yeah, of course, dude, of course. But your fiance, you don't want to, A, you want things to be good, and B, you don't want to make her feel bad because you love her. But, C, you're fucking her asshole's giving your nose a real problem. So you might want to just take a hint. Like maybe you drop little fun jokes to her. Like watch a show about coroners. And when the coroner wipes like the Vicks Vapor Rub under his nose before he cuts open a cadaver, just elbow her and go, "That's what I have to do before I fuck you doggy style." But, it's a conversation you might have to have. But try hopping in the shower with her a couple of times first and clean each other really good, or you clean her really good and yourself, and just see if that kind of plants a seed for her.
Okay, thanks so much, Jim. Love you.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot. Good luck. Let's see here. Interesting. Fraser in Michigan. What's up, Fraser?
Hey, Jim. I just wanted to say I love your comedy, and you're very dear to my heart. But
thank you, man.
My advice is I'm 22, and I have a kind of a bad alcohol problem, but my second thing is I've been sleeping with my mom's best friend. And
okay. How long has your mom known this lady, and how long have you known her?
I've known her since I was a child, and it's really awkward. And now that I slept with her, it's really awkward. But she's a really a crazy pill addict.
Okay.
And I always just had this weird fantasy of being a young guy with a MILF, and stuff.
Sure,
so
of course.
I slept with her, and but now I want to cut it off. I told her I don't want to do this anymore. And she's threatening, she's blackmailing me pretty much, saying that she will tell my mom if I stop having this weird affair. And I don't know.
How many times have you slept with her?
4.
Okay. She's like a pedophile, but with older people. What a crowd. Hey, did she also threaten to hurt your puppy? What a creepy fucking lady. Listen, if you don't want to fuck somebody, don't fuck them. So what if she tells your mom? She's the one who should feel worse. I fucked your child is a lot worse than Mom. I'm 22 and I banged an older lady.
Exactly.
Now, I know that's embarrassing and you don't want her to, but if it comes down to it, and she decides to rat on you, you got to tell your mom, "Look, we did this thing. I was no longer comfortable doing it. She tried blackmailing me by threatening to tell you." Your mom will probably end the friendship with her.
Yeah, true.
So I wouldn't panic about that. Maybe you call her bluff and say, "Go ahead," and just be ready for your mom to find out.
Man, that would just kill me though if she found out. But
you're an adult male, dude. You're not a child. Maybe she finds out you were sticking your big young pecker in her friends. Maybe she'll who knows? Maybe she'll have more respect for you.
All right, but my first thing was I'm a really bad alcoholic. I drink every single day.
Okay.
I'm too nervous. I have really bad anxiety too.
Sure.
And I'm just really nervous to go to AA meetings. I'd rather have an AA with just one-on-one with a person, and I don't even know how to deal with it. Really, no one in my family really knows. I mean, I live by myself, and I drink a fifth every day. You know what I mean? And,
let me ask you something. If you're 22 and you're having this social anxiety, chances are if you sober up, that will get a lot better. So a couple of things you can probably do. If you're terrified to go to a group or you're too nervous, then again, try a therapist. A one-on-one guy might help you. Or there's like different 12-step groups have different intergroup phone numbers where you can call like an 800 number and they can either tell you where meetings are, or maybe you can ask them to send someone over to pick you up for a certain meeting. And you could talk to this person on the way there, or you can go to a meeting and just not say anything, just sit in the back and grab one person after and talk to them. You know, sometimes you got to go, what are the lesser of the evils? Okay, I'm socially awkward. I don't like going out. I'm afraid to do this in public. That's fair, man. A lot of people are. Here's the flip side. And this is the one I always go to because it happens all the time. I'm going to be coming home from a bar one night and I'm going to fucking rear end a car and some lady's fucking head is going to smash into the dashboard and I'm going to kill her. So then my social anxiety is going to be made worse when I'm given a minimum 10-year prison sentence for fucking manslaughter or vehicular manslaughter, whatever they call it. So then you'll really have social anxiety when you can't drink and you're stuck in a place, where you have to shit in front of a cellmate. So you got to go with the lesser of the evils, dude. You understand? Like the penalty for continuing is going to be horrendous.
That's perfect. I love that you just said that because that just opened my mind. I mean, thank you, Jim. I mean, I love your advice. I love your advice show, and I'm like your biggest fan. So
I appreciate that. Thank you, Frazier. But just, again, dude, I'm not preaching about any particular 12-step program. Whichever one you find that works for you or whatever non-12-step thing you do that works is fine. But again, the social anxiety, the fear of doing something that will make me better is usually my sick mind trying to keep me fucking sick, because there's a part of me that gets very comfortable in misery. I get comfortable in emotional pain. I like it. I hate to say it like that, but I like it. I like that feeling in the pit of my stomach. I like when a girlfriend I'm dating, when I suspect she's cheating. I hate it, but it feels good. It's like that familiar agony in my fucking stomach pit, and it's a sickness. So, again, dude, just give it a shot, and I think you'll be very, very happy with how it works out, okay?
And since you said that, I will give it a shot, and this means a lot to me that you're saying this.
Okay, buddy, but just keep me posted, and good luck, and I'm happy that you called.
Okay, thank you. I'll tweet you.
Okay, buddy, take care. Let's see here. Another drinking call. Justin in Atlanta. What's up, Justin? Justin, where were you? Outside?
I don't want to
fucking
hear it.
Clever wordplay. Yomer always gets them. What's up, buddy?
And I just wanted to get your opinion.
Hey, Justin, your phone is a little cutting out. Can you hold it differently or something? Are you on a headset?
No. Shit, the new phone.
There you go. That's a little better. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm just out of rehab, and
cool, man. How long are you there for? 30 days?
35 days. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And I had zero temptation when I was in there as far as my alcohol went. And I was just thinking the whole time, I can fucking nail this when I get out. It should be no issue. But within 30 minutes of me being alone in my truck and having the freedom, driving up and down the streets and all the stores that I've gone into in the past, I mean, it's kind of an urge that I never really anticipated. And I'm just trying to fight that urge. I got a lot to lose, and I got a lot on my mind. So I was just trying to see if there's any other remedies of staying sober. I'm like the last call.
What
I'm
you
not
just
too
did.
big on AA, but,
okay. Well, whatever's for you. What you just did is good, though. Because the thing is, I find that when it comes to any type of addictive behavior, I am much more effective when people who are afflicted like I am are kind of helping me and telling me their own experience. As opposed to what I'm doing it myself. One suggestion is, I know passing the liquor stores is very hard because there's those familiar things. People have suggested that when you first get sober or you quit any type of addiction, you change as many people, places, and things as you can, just so that those old tapes don't automatically play. And again, maybe you call somebody from the rehab you were in, whether it's one of the counselors or somebody else. And if you're not into any particular 12-step programs, okay. A, you might want to give them a shot. And B, if you don't, call somebody from the rehab and go to the fucking diner. Have coffee or just eat some shitty eggs and talk it out. Because sometimes it helps to talk to somebody in the same boat. You don't have to do it by yourself. And that's the important thing. I never would have done it to this point if I was forced to do it alone. So, you don't need to isolate with it. It's very common to feel urges. They do pass. They do go away. Never forever. There's that old thing where it's like, I kind of have to be vigilant about it because once in a while, I told you I was fucking doing the Race Wars podcast and I haven't had an urge so strong in years, but it hit me like a sledgehammer. And I think I've talked about this. It's because I had gone for a couple of procedures and they had given me propofol, which is, again, it wasn't totally necessary, but that triggered that shitty thinking. And even after 26 or 27 years of sobriety, it was so sneaky how it worked. So I'm never totally fucking off the hook with it. But thank God I've had enough, experience where I kind of talked about it to people and I texted people, cause I couldn't call cause I was on the air, but I immediately talked to people who were, in the same boat I am. So, just try not to do it yourself, man. That's a very, cause when I talk to myself about this shit, I'm talking to a fucking dumbbell. I really am. It helps to talk to other people.
Wife, and she's trying to understand like how the addiction works. And,
yeah, the wives never work. The husbands never work, dude. You can never ask the spouse because they love you so much, but sometimes they're frustrated because they can't help you the way they want to. And there are times, I'm not saying your wife, where like a person gets sober and then the person they're married or dating begins to get resentful of their newfound sobriety because all of a sudden that system that you had going, that sick cycle has been broken. So they don't realize they're doing it, but they kind of feed into that sickness and then their role has to change and they don't know what the fuck to do. So, it's good to have a supportive spouse, but you can't use them to work any type of sobriety, at least at first. So you got to talk to somebody. I would say a person of the same gender really helps. And Lou is saying that he dropped. We didn't hang up on you, sir. Your phone was crapping out, but thank you for the call and good luck. All right, you silly goose. Let's see here. Jared in South Dakota. What's up, man?
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
I'm well, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, a little bit of a backstory. I'll try to keep it short and not ramble on. But a couple of years ago, I was with this girl, and I was really into cuckold porn. That was like the only thing that I could get off on. So I had a couple drinks at her house one night, brought a buddy over. We ended up fucking tag teaming her. It's great. I fantasized about it. I took videos, the whole 9 yards. Sure. So fast forward here. Now I'm in a new relationship with a new girl, and I still have a fixation for cuckold porn. I'm telling you, Jimmy, I cannot watch anything else. It just does not do it for me.
Now let me ask you a question. Two questions. Who was, not her name, was the girl a girl you were dating, or was she someone you both mutually knew? I missed that part. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about a new girl. Now, the girl that I was with is who I started doing cuckolding with. Now I'm in a new relationship with another girl, and I find myself wanting to bring it up to her to do it.
Okay, let me ask you. Now, this girl that you did it with, had you been with her for a long time and you were bored sexually?
I've been with her for a long time, but honestly, Jimmy, I think I just didn't give a shit about her anymore. That was kind of the last straw before we broke up.
How did you feel after your friend fucked her?
I thought it was awesome, but I looked at her like she was just a piece.
Okay, so it didn't hurt. It changed the way you felt about her. Did you feel humiliated? Did he have a bigger dick than you? And you're like, I kind of like the fact that she was doing that dirty thing, or it had nothing to do with that?
Yeah, I did the whole thing of like going to the bathroom and he fucked her again, and I watched from the doorway jerking off. Like it was kind of that whole watching it thing. And I think that's what the whole. Did it hurt you?
Did it hurt you at all or no?
No, it didn't hurt me.
But you just said it made it hurt you. I think I'm getting old. I fucking keep forgetting I asked the question. I'm very tired. So yeah, you said it made you feel like she's a piece. So you know what, dude? You gotta examine sometimes the motives of why something turns you on. Like, does it represent something else? Like, if it's a way to take a girl who you genuinely like and make her a pig in your own mind, then it's bad and it's distancing, and then it's like just trying to look at another person as a piece of pornography, and you're just using another human being to jerk yourself off. It's like you're using them as a giant jerk-off sleeve. What's that for? It's for jacking off, like that thing in 10 to Midnight that Warren had when fucking Charles Bronson scolded him. So you don't want to do that. If it's something you're sharing in, even if you feel a little humiliated and it's dirty, but after you and your girlfriend both come, or you and your wife both come, you're like, oh baby, I love you, that was so hot, then it's healthy. But if afterwards you're like, oh, that fucking cunt, she failed the test, then it's no good. And if you got a new girl and you know it made you feel shitty about your last girl, be careful about doing that, because you don't want to look at her like she's just a piece.
Right. And I feel kind of bad because I've already brought it up to her before, and she was like, "Oh, that'd be something we'd maybe do on vacation and stuff." And I feel like she's already pretty much. I feel like she's already just telling me like it's not going to happen. That might have happened with your last girl, but not with me. So now I'm just stuck jerking on my dumb dick in my room watching cuckold porn. Well, no, because you got to realize, dude. Did you ever tell her how it made it feel about your ex? Yeah, I did. There you go. So that's why. She's like, that was the thing you did. I don't want to be a pig to you. So maybe what you can do is watch cuckold porn with her. Again, bridge her into it, man. Watch a little bit of it with her. See if there's anything she likes in it. And even if she doesn't go for any of it, find out, tell her to be totally open. Is there any of this you like? Does she like movies where it's a black guy with a giant dick and the husband is just watching? Does she like it where it's a black guy with a giant dick and the husband is participating? Does she like it when it's only a white guy? Does she like it is there anything in there that she can be totally honest about that turns her on, and then kind of go from there? And I've suggested this many times. Take out an anonymous list on Craigslist. This is where online anonymity is fine. When you're just kind of talking sexually with each other, you know, because again, you don't want to attract a fucking psychopath or a stalker. Right. You know, take out this looking for someone to fuck my girl. Let her pick the photos that she likes, and maybe you block the number and she talks to these guys on the phone while you're fucking her. See if there's any kind of a bridge into it that she's okay with, and reassure her that you love her afterwards and she's not a pig. Yeah, just kind of dip the toe in. I get what you're saying about it. Okay. Hey, Jimmy, I got to tell you, too, I saw you up in Minneapolis at Mill City. That was a great show. You really got me into comedy, dude. I never really paid attention to any of that until I started listening to you. And me and that girl were actually up there together, and I talked to her after the show. I said, what'd you think of him? She said he was really great until he started talking about putting his dick through a baby cradle. So I think Uncle Paul kind of got to her, but whatever. Uncle Paul loses a lot of people. But I love Uncle Paul because, again, as you know, people are like, why do you do that on the radio show? And I know you're not asking me that. And thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it. We'll let you go, Jared. Thanks, buddy. You know, Uncle Paul's a weird thing. Why do I do it? Oh, it's pedophile stuff. Because every fucking performer likes to explore that horrible side of human nature. I have zero desire to fuck. I mean, I find innocence to be totally unsexy. It just doesn't turn me on at all. You know, can I role play it with a really dirty girl who I know is a slut, like, you know, where she, a little bit maybe, but not even, it just, true innocence does zero to excite me. So I think it's fun to explore the darkest, most despicable aspect of human behavior and see if I can make it funny. And anyone who says that they don't understand that is being silly, because look at every actor. They all want to play the bad guy. You know, when De Niro did fucking A Bronx Tale, he wanted to play Sonny Black. He had to fight Chaz about it. Chaz said, no, I'm playing him because I wrote. Everyone wants to play that fucking horrible character to explore. So that's what I love about Uncle Paul. If that helps anyone's hesitation about U to the P. What's up, Mike in Canada? You sex addict? How are you?
Love it.
Hey, buddy.
Been a big fan of yours for a long time. First time caller of the show, long time listener.
Well, thank you.
Also, my problem is that every time I get a girlfriend, I think I'm in love. I always want to spend time with them and whatever. No matter what, like, I could have fucked my girlfriend twice in the span of an hour, and some other chick from back in the day will call me up, and I gotta leave and go fuck it. Like, I don't get my problem. I'm scared that I'll never be able to have a girlfriend. I'll never be in love. I can't really tell my friends, like, hey, you know, no, I just go around porking everyone. What do I do? How can I talk about this?
It's obviously not making you feel good. You know, it's obviously one of those things that's causing you a problem, because it's not about the sex. When you can never get enough, I always talk about the dopamine or whatever it is that it's like the same thing as Coke or fucking shoving a cheesecake in your hole. It's like this thing outside myself that makes me feel complete, but it's always an empty fucking pit. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to fill this hole in myself, which I don't feel fulfillment, or I don't feel connection, or I don't feel love. So I shove all this outside shit, whether it's pornography or food, and it never works because the hole is bottomless. So, you know what I mean? Understanding that is a big part of it, like realizing why I'm doing it and changing the behavior. So my advice is, if you're asking my advice, if it's bothering you and it's making your life unmanageable and you fucking hate it and you're tired of it, you know it's fucking you up, then just go for help somewhere or talk to people who are in the same situation. There's only a few answers I can give on drugs or sex or food, because there's only a few things that I would actually believe worked. You know, if people have other things, look, for people, being a born again Christian works for a lot of people. You know, I mean, I've made fun of born again Christians, but you know what? There's a lot of pieces of shit that become born again Christians and go on to lead great lives and be productive family members. So maybe that would be your answer. Maybe 12-step program, maybe a therapist, maybe just quitting cold turkey. They're all options to you. You know, whether it's, you know, I don't know what to tell you because I don't know you. So if it's bothering you, I would say just examine the options and then take a course of action.
Well, yeah, it bothers me, but at the same time, like, I love having sex, so it doesn't bother me.
Well, sex is like food, dude. It's a really hard one because a certain amount, you have to find a balance with it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, it's not, no one's going to say don't fuck again or don't think dirty thoughts or don't ever talk dirty to a girl again. So that, we all love sex. So one thing you might want to do is take a little break. You know, a reset. Like Steve-O talked about that. Like taking a reset. And I wish I was strong enough to do it, dude. I'm actually talking to you and I'm looking into a mirror talking to me too. It's hard to do. But when you lay off it for a little while and you go back to it, it begins to feel good again. It begins to feel normal again. And loving sex all the time and abusing it is where it gets unhealthy. Just loving sex is okay, Mike.
True.
Let me ask you a question. Are you hurting other people or lying to other people to get it?
Yes.
That's what you got to stop doing. That's what you got to stop doing. If you're going on Tinder dates and you're saying to women, hey, you know, I'm not really looking for a relationship. I'm just kind of looking to hook up, and they're okay with that, do that all day until it really hurts you. You know what I mean? If you want to just go out and fuck, there's nothing wrong with that. This is not a judgment about you fucking all the time. But if you're lying and you're hurting other people and you're feeling shitty, pardon me, that would, you know, be a major problem. So then you just got to stop the behavior.
Thanks, Jimmy. I really appreciate it, man. Because you know, getting the insight from a guy who's actually a real person, who, you know, it's not some fake who actually admits their problems and stuff, is really refreshing to hear. I really appreciate the advice, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. And that's, you know, that's why a lot of times, and I've said this before too, I am only qualified, like I'm a high school dropout. Everybody fucking knows that. And, you know, sometimes I'm a pompous intellectual, pseudo-intellectual ass. But I really do know that I'm not qualified to give true medical, like this thing's that Dr. Steve's a genius. You know, and he's really good at giving genuine medical advice. I'm not qualified to do that. But as far as being fucked up as a human being, and as far as having made a lot of mistakes and been selfish and been, you know, sexually driven, and, you know, having drank like a fucking, and made just a pig out of myself. You know, I was cutting myself long before it was fashionable. That's stuff I'm qualified to talk about because I did it. So I think that anyone giving advice should always fucking admit what connection they have to what they're talking about. That's just my thing. Therapists too, but they never do that shit. Let's see here. Mantis in Canada. Oh, is this the Mantis from Venom? What's up, Mantis?
Hey, Jimmy, thanks for taking my call.
How you doing? Don't sing any of the devil music. I'm just kidding. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, been sitting here staring at the bottom of my shaft for a better part of a half hour, trying to figure out what the hell just showed up here. I've had this thing right at the bottom of my shaft. I'm a bigger guy, so I've got that male fupa, just that excess fat just above your dick. It's very great. And I've had this little bump here for about better part of a week. And I've been with the same girl for 4 years, and I've been using the same bottle of dry skin Aveeno, so I haven't been doing anything different.
Okay.
Fairly clean gentleman. So, yeah, I wish I could take a picture and show it to you, but the damn camera on my phone is broken.
Is it a wart, do you think?
No, I don't think so. I did pop it at first, kind of like a zit. And it just hasn't gone away. And actually, when I was just on hold, now I finally found my girlfriend's tweezers and pulled like 3 hairs out of the same follicle, and it had a little blackhead at the end. So I think that may be the end of it. I may have to.
Why not just go to a doctor, dude? I tell you one thing. I had a scare with the girl I was dating years ago, and I mean a terrible scare. She had these sores, like on the inside of her thighs, a couple of them. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, she has herpes. We called Dr. Steve. She swore that she hadn't been doing it. We called her. I panicked, and he's like, send me a photo. So I sent a photo of a couple of the sores. And he goes, no, that's folliculitis. And we went to the doctor and it turned out it was fine. She did not have herpes, but it was a scare. And my friend's ex-girlfriend years and years ago had something like that. And it turned out to be a follicle thing too. And when I saw it on her, she showed me, I thought it was herpes too, and it was not. So it's one of those I mean, she showed me with him there. She didn't show me her pussy, but so it's one of those things where you go to the doctor, sometimes you think there are other things that happen that are around the genital area that are just not an STD. So go and get it checked. That's my suggestion. I mean, again, Dr. Steve could look at it and go, what's the diameter? Oh, that's probably the French Byzantine version of folliculitis. I don't know what it is. But it could just be a skin tag, or it could be whatever. But just go get it checked, you silly goose. Don't pull it off with tweezers.
Well, it made me feel a lot better anyways. We'll see what happens, but now. I also wanted to ask, are you coming to Toronto or anywhere in Canada anytime soon?
I don't know, but I will be back up to Toronto. I love it. I love Toronto and I love Montreal. They're both fantastic gigs, so I will, yes.
That's great. And one last thing, if I could, just want to talk a little UFC with you, and then I'll be on my way.
Okay.
I have this Ronda Rousey problem where I think she's a terrible cunt, and I want to blow my load right on her mole on her face.
Why do you think she's a cunt? I've talked to her a few times, and I've seen her outside the show, and she's actually very, very sweet.
Maybe she just puts it on for the fights or whatever, one of those where you have to hate the fighter, but I don't like the air of her. Like, I get it. You're a woman. You're the best. I can't argue with her skills. There's no one on her level other than maybe Cyborg if we ever see that fight. Right. But I don't know, man. There's just something about her. I guess she deserves, she gets to do that because she's the champ. What's anyone going to say?
Well, I'll say the thing with her is this, and I understand why people wouldn't like Ronda, because she comes out very unpleasant. Like, she doesn't look as nice as she is. She's a stone face. She wouldn't shake Misha's hand. She's the bad guy. She's the heel. Don't forget, Ronda's a massive wrestling fan. And I'm not saying she's being fake, but I'm saying she grew up watching wrestling and she understood the whole appeal of that. And, Ronda fast became the biggest draw in UFC. And I guess it's different because I've interviewed her and I've, spoken to her and we've chatted, and she's genuinely sweet. Like, she's such a hardcore, mean fighter. But when you look at her face when she's talking about something like her dad, her fucking eyes get watery. Or, she's like the type of person that probably watches a sad movie and blubbers like an idiot. She goes just the opposite way in her personal life. She's genuinely very, very sweet. So that's just a fight thing, dude. She's actually really, really nice. And I have no vested interest in saying that. She's not listening to this. But, if you hate her, hey, look, as long as you're willing to pay to watch her fight or get beat the fuck up, I'm sure she doesn't mind being booed. But, she's not a cunt. She's actually really nice.
No, she's still the best. I think I'm just jealous. I'm all torn because I really hate her and I still just want to fuck her so bad. So.
Well, she's sexy, dude. Of course, who doesn't want to fuck her? You know who's fucking her? Travis Brown. I heard they're dating, so good luck with that one. Travis Brown's a savage heavyweight, so he should be dating her, though. You know what? Jim Norton should not be dating Ronda Rousey. I'm a twerp. I've lost some weight, but I still have some blubber and an appendix scar. Travis Brown is an animal. He's a heavyweight animal with a giant beard and a huge fist. He should be dating Ronda Rousey, not me. Thank you for the call, okay?
Thanks very much, Jimmy. Love you, buddy.
All right, buddy. I don't know why I just said he should be dating Ronda Rousey. Like, all of a sudden, that's going to clear up the misconceptions that you folks have. Oh, come on, Jim. We thought it should be you. You've got the looks. You've got the charm. You've got the talent. Fuck. All right, Greg in New Jersey. Ooh, this is a good question. What's up, Greg?
Hey, Jim.
Do you, Greg, or do you prefer G-Reg? It's up to you.
Oh, either one's fine. Cool.
What's up, pal?
Hey, I wanted to call in. I heard you talking about Tinder girls. Have you ever met anybody on Tinder?
Oh, yeah, I have. Sure. I've met people on Tinder. There's other apps, too. There's Bumble. There's fucking Rayon. There's a few of them. And I've talked to people from all of them. I haven't met that many.
Really? I've been looking for people on Tinder. I can't find anybody, though. Do you ever get these spam profiles? They're trying to get you to call a number or something?
So many of them. Dude, yeah. So many of them. But you know what? They've done a pretty good job of weeding a lot of them out. But again, try the other apps. I mean, there's Match.com. There's the other ones that are legitimate. And then, like a profile, and it's a dating site. And then there's these where you just flip, swipe. Go through them. There's so many of them. And A lot of people hate them. The disadvantage to them is you lose the ability to connect with somebody because you're so used to moving on to the next one. Next. So we've run out of patience for each other. But the good thing is you don't have to talk to just, spend the whole night on one fucking annoying person who's drunk. You could talk to a couple of different people and get to know them, and then all of a sudden you meet up with one and you go out and you have a great time. Just don't expect to fuck someone the first time. I've done all dinners. I'm not fucking people from Tinder. I've just done a lot of dinners and it's kind of fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you had a relationship with anybody, or just?
No relationship.
No relationship.
Not of Tinder. No, man. I've met a few people, but nothing substantial and nothing even incredibly interesting. But just keep trying it, dude. You will find somebody. All right.
All right.
All right, buddy. Take care of yourself.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Craig. Let's see here. What about Josh in Florida?
Jimmy Brown, my friend.
What's up, Josh? What are you joshing about in Florida? You joshing about the fucking, some Florida stuff?
Fucking talking about peckers and shit.
Fucking, that's awesome. I mean, those are terrible. What up, Joshua?
What up? Well, check it out. I called you a few months ago because you are an insightful motherfucker.
Thank you.
And you gave me the go-ahead on a relationship. I'm 27. She's 44.
Sure.
It's been fucking awesome. Sucking my balls and everything. Never had that before. Very nice. Very nice. Well, came to light the other day that she has been involved in some threesomes with two guys and two girls. Okay. So after hearing that and after beating off vigorously, I proposed a question to her. I said, "Would you be interested in doing it again?" And she said, "Yeah, she'd think about it." But my question is, would she want someone her age? Would someone my age? Like, what? How do you approach that kind of situation? You ever had threesome?
You should ask her.
Yeah, I know.
You should ask her.
I'm a fucking fag.
No, don't be a fag. Just talk to her about it. Have you ever talked dirty to her about it and jerked off while she's telling you about it?
I have not.
Well, why don't you make her tell you about it? Like, sometimes, dude, if it genuinely turns you on, enjoy it. I mean, have her talk the details about it with you. And then you can find out what she likes because she'll tell you what she did. And you might also find out some stuff that you don't like. Do you know what I mean? So it's good to, it's good to explore it that way. This way you're not finding out in the moment. Just find out. But ask her.
Yeah, I figured that's what you'd say, but I figured I'd get it from the man himself. Thank you, Jimmy.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Have a good show, man.
All right. Mike in Boston. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Jim?
How are you, man?
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Big fan. Not bad.
Thank you.
So my wife wants to break up and isn't really giving me any definitive answers.
You married for 4 years?
4 years together for 12.
Have you had any problems?
I mean, she thinks we fight a lot, but it's like little bickering shit, which isn't a big deal to me.
Well, let me ask you, when did it start and what's it usually about? And do you have any kids?
No kids.
Okay. What's it usually, how long has the fight been going on?
No, it's just like little shit throughout the day or whatever, like cleaning up and, just like stupid shit that you probably just get complacent with in a marriage.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we went to see like a therapist and she told us not to see each other for a month and shit, so.
Do you think, what do you think it is? Let me ask you, what do you think it is?
Honestly, her job, she got like a new job and I think she sees like these people making fucking Uber money and it's like.
You think she wants a guy who makes more money?
A ton of money, yeah. I mean, I do all right for myself, but like she sees these people who are in their 50s and 60s who obviously work for that, And I'm only 30 years old and talking,
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's it, but you got to ask her, dude. You got to get her.
I have been. I know. She's just like, I don't know, and all this fucking bullshit.
Well, I guess the marriage thing is people say just work on it. But if she won't give you a reason, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to be with somebody that there's obviously they want out?
Yeah.
do you want to be with somebody who you're always going to have to walk on eggshells with and say, like, does she want out, or is she okay with me to, like, do you really want to be married to someone like that?
Yeah, I know.
I'm asking myself that, huh?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So give her some time and say, do you want a separation? And if she says yes.
We're going on the month now, you know.
Oh, you have been? And what is she saying? Does she want to get back?
No, we're not supposed to talk or see each other for the month.
Okay, well, why don't you just see what happens at the end of the month, dude? I know that's very painful, I'm sure, you know, mentally to have somebody, but who knows? Maybe she's working it out, or maybe she's going to go, yeah, I want to continue this.
Yeah, I mean, because we've never broken up in 13 years or whatever either, so.
Yeah, that's a long time, dude, too.
It is, I know.
You said 4 years. That's 13 years, a long fucking time.
It is.
Maybe
we got a house and, you know, and like all that shit. Like, she wants to go backwards, you know what I mean?
How's the sex, in all honesty?
Awesome.
That's
not an issue.
Okay. Well, just see what she says at the end of the month. That's the best you can do right now. Because right now, there's nothing I can tell you that's going to in any way figure out what she is going to say at the end of the month. She may go, oh my God, I missed you. Or she may go, I'm happy. So how much longer till the month is up?
Next Wednesday.
Okay. Well, hang in there for another week, dude. Don't do anything stupid or rash or crazy or caller or stalkerish. Just hang in there and see how it goes, okay?
All right. Thanks, Jimmy. The best.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
All right.
Let's see here. Mike in California. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Jim, it's Mike. I've called a couple of times. I was the overweight guy that couldn't move out of his parents' house, and he really helped me see the light.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to call and thank you, first of all. I just moved out of my parents' house and then my brother's guest house. But
great, buddy, good.
Yeah, so I got a job at his, he owns a company that he sells groceries to grocery stores. And the hard thing is I've been going to Overeaters Anonymous, but being around some of the unhealthy food every day has really got me itching because I'm on a diet. I'm trying to be as strict as I can, but all food just kind of tastes bland to me now. And I'm just around all these snack foods, and I see fast food every day. My coworkers eat it, and I don't really know how to not be tempted. And I know that everyone says eating it once in a while is not going to hurt you, but I feel like if I eat even one meal of fast food, I'm just going to tumble down that path again of just eating it all the time when I'm bored. And
well, that's good because you're not lying to yourself. You're being honest with yourself. Like, look, are there ways, are some people able to achieve a balance with it? Maybe. I find it very difficult, but you're smart enough to go, hey, look, maybe someday, but not now. I'm not in that place where I can afford a shit meal. And you know, there's no reason that you have to go out and have a big fatty McDonald's cheat meal either. Sometimes I say to myself, when I want to do something really unhealthy, you know what? And this, I say to myself, hey, dummy, you've treated yourself enough. You've given yourself enough treats, Jim. You know what I mean? You fucking said yes to yourself enough. Like, once in a while, it's okay to say no to myself and just fucking, you know, do the right thing and not eat the shitty food. If you can find a job that doesn't put you in that situation, it might be a little easier to do that. That's a hard one for a recovering, you know, a person with a food addiction who's trying to lose the weight. Look, you're always going to be around food, but to work around it all day is just, it might be a little harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, the hardest part is that this being my first job given to me by my brother, you know, I am making money for the first time, but I don't know if I can just quit and say no thank you to the favor that he did just because I'm having a hard time with my addiction. It's almost like a trial by fire. Can I get through it on my own, or do I just decide to quit and try to find temptation elsewhere, you know, stop the temptation entirely?
Well, I think the most important thing is your health and your mental well-being. So as long as you don't just walk out and leave him in a lurch, like if you start looking for another job, and let's just say you have some good feelers out there, maybe then you talk to him or you give him your notice and do it properly and say, I'm not trying to be ungrateful, I'm not trying to leave you, but man, look, I'm just feeling very weak and this is too tempting for me. But make sure he knows how much you appreciate what he did for you. And he should understand, if he knows that you've had these problems, you might go, I want to continue working. I still don't want to live with mom and dad, but I really do. I just want to get a job in a fucking office, dude. This is just a little hard for me right now. Hopefully he'll be okay with that, or he should be okay with that. You know, I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much.
So, you know, give yourself a break. All right, buddy.
Take care.
Okay, take care. Let's see here. Steve in Florida, you were at a porn website, fucked with your iPhone. Uh-oh, what happened?
Yeah, well, look here, Jim. I was listening to O&A today, and, you and Opie, and anyway, and Lisa Ann was, heard her name come up and all. I saw a little of her, videos before. And so anyway, I was curious, going to pull her up and see what I can find, because I know she's going to be on the show tonight, Well, anyway, I got on the site, and then it flashed up something about if you see abuse, report it, and, I'm not real familiar with, internet and all that, but I recognize that to be like if you was, like you was trying to get child porn or something, which I certainly wasn't. Okay, but anyway, it had a lot of little ads that I can't see too good. I just hit one, and then it flashed up, says you have a chat request. And, I wasn't wanting to chat with anybody or anything,
Yeah.
I tried to back off the site and everything. Well, it won't let me back off the site. I even cut the phone off and all that. And now I'm worried about it's either a virus or somebody trying to bait me, with a young girl or something. And I wouldn't.
Nah, no one tried to. Look, you're not going to get into a child porn sting by clicking on links on the site looking for Lisa Ann. If that's legitimately what you were doing, I've gotten caught in those ads, links, and did you do a hard reset on your phone? No, I mean, don't lose all your stuff. Just kind of start it over again, and double click the icon. And it should pull you out of the browser. Like if you're clicking on your thing, you double click it, and then you can just swipe it, and it's closed. I've never had a problem on my iPhone like that at all. Don't click on those chat requests. They're bullshit, dude. They're fucking.
Well, yeah, right. Well, because I'm not interested in talking to anybody, much less any young person or anything. And I wasn't even looking for that. But great, I'll try that, Jimmy. I appreciate it, man.
All right, good luck, buddy. Yeah, gotta watch those links, man. Let's see here. Kyle in California. What's up, man?
Hey, Jimmy. How's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Before I kind of get into my problem, I want to let you know I have lost 65 pounds this year, and you've been a huge inspiration for that.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm happy to hear you did it. Great.
Cool. Hey, I in that whole thing, I met a really great girl. My age, met her in real life, not a Tinder thing, or she's a friend of a friend, all that stuff. We start hanging out, we start dating, things are going really smooth. We kind of do that dig into each other's past, and she was in a 7-year relationship that ended over a text message. Like the guy texted her one day out of the clear blue and broke up with her.
Okay.
And she's really slow to kind of, get into something with me, or, we'll hang out and have a really good time, and she'll spend the night at my house or whatever, and then, it kind of like pushes her back. She kind of goes away. And
she's probably afraid of falling. Sorry, she's probably afraid of falling in love with you or getting too deep in and then having you fucking just chop her legs off. You know what I mean? How long ago did this happen? This guy dumped her via text.
It was like 2 years ago. Like when I first met her, it was a year and a half, and we've been kind of dating for about 7 months, 8 months.
Wow, man. Again, I would suggest, look, man, just show her that you're not going anywhere. Sometimes that helps. You know what I mean? If you show someone that you're not leaving and you're going to stick around, then maybe you make her feel a little bit more comfortable. 7 years is a long time, and she might be hesitant to totally invest in another guy who tricks her and then just just pushes her off a cliff. So give her some time, dude. That's a long one. She must really like you if she's concerned about that.
Yeah, it's been hard, man. Like, she's a cool girl. I really like her. We get along, and then, we have a great time, and she's like, you can see it. You can see it in her face. She freaks out,
Well, again, be patient with her. You like her.
Yeah.
So part of liking somebody sometimes is understanding that they're a bit of a mess just like we are. And maybe you need to be patient with her. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Hey, Jimmy, you do a great job, dude. This show is, I know my call isn't as, provocative as some people's, but dude, you do a killer job, man. Keep it up. We really appreciate it.
I appreciate you calling. Thanks, man. Yeah, no, there's I don't care if you call it just a regular thing. It doesn't have to be earth-shattering. It could be something small. Hi, Tyler in Texas. What's up, buddy? Hello?
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Hey, pal.
Hey, listen, I can completely agree with that, Uncle Paul, that statement you made earlier.
Right.
You know, I was a state trooper for 10 years, so that dark sense of humor really resonates with me because I've seen kids destroyed, and when I say destroyed, I mean destroyed by
car accidents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, you find body parts everywhere.
So you guys get that gallows humor. Like, you guys get that. It's a survival mechanism for guys like, for cops and I'm sure firemen and stuff.
Right. And how do you deal with that? You have to joke about it.
Sure.
And nobody understands that. But anyway.
They're going to cut us off in 2 minutes. We're at the end of the show. So I want to make sure I get to what it is you wanted to discuss.
All right. So very, very quickly, I was a state trooper for 10 years. I was fired because of alcoholism.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to get a second chance. And my second chance is that I'm in a PhD program now, getting my doctorate degree.
Great.
Falling asleep. Going back to what you said earlier, the only way I can fall asleep is thinking about depressing stuff. I need that pit in my stomach.
Yeah.
Do you do that still, or have you found a way to go to sleep without that? Because I need to depress myself to get to sleep.
No, I still do that sometimes. It depends on how tired I am. Are you actually tired when you're going to bed?
No. I have an anxiety disorder, depression disorder, and I have a sleep disorder.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that, sometimes we take things that we think are going to focus us in a weird way, almost away from maybe if you're thinking about a head rolling off a torso, you're not thinking about...
No. I think about elementary school when I was rejected. I think about all the people that hate me. And that's what gets me depressed and gets me to go to sleep.
Well, if it's working, to be honest, I don't think of necessarily depressing or stressful things for myself. I think of I've thought of falling out of planes and stuff. You know what, dude? I don't know the answer to that because I still have that issue. I think we use different tools to get to sleep, but I also think about bizarre shit. And I would say this, is it really affecting you negatively if it's helping you sleep?
Right. I guess so, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe we say to ourselves, hey man, I shouldn't be thinking of that. That's weird or that's counterproductive. Try thinking about other things or maybe try being more tired when you go to bed. But if it's helping you sleep and the option is not sleeping, I would say do the option that helps you sleep or ask a professional who understands a lot more about sleep than I do. All I know about sleep is how to do it poorly. So you might want to find a professional who really understands sleep and what you can do.
Hey, Jim, thanks for taking the call at the end.
Okay, buddy, I appreciate you calling and take care, man. I'm glad you have a second chance, all right?
Thanks, bye.
All right, guys, we still have a lot of people on the phones. I apologize. We have to wrap up. And thank you for calling my advice show. I will see you next week or tomorrow morning if you can listen to myself and Opie. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com/on-demand. On SiriusXM is real.